What's up guys, Moniz here, and today I'm reviewing the Sony Xperia XA2 Ultra. This is a mid-range smartphone that retails for about $450 US or about $600 here in Canada. This puts it in the same territory as the OnePlus 5T. So is this phone worth it? Well, that depends on your situation. This is a very big smartphone with a 6-inch display. It requires two hands to use. To put this in perspective, I have a couple of devices here to compare to. I have the Galaxy Note 8, which is a 6.3-inch device, which is not only narrower, it's also less tall than the Xperia XA2 Ultra. The Pixel 2 XL, which is a very big device, has a 6-inch display, is also smaller, and the same holds true for the iPhone 8 Plus. The bottom line is if you like big phones, this is probably one of the bigger phones on the market that you can buy right now. It has everything you'd want. The fingerprint scanner is on the back, which is new for Sony. Usually they put it on the side and it's kind of awkward if you're left-handed. This is their new design. And if you're in the United States, you'll also get the fingerprint sensor as well. It's not water resistant. It's not made out of all metal. The back is actually plastic, but you don't have wireless charging. It has USB Type-C, and of course you have a headphone jack, which is very important for a big device like this, especially if you're gonna use it for media consumption. You got a micro SD card slot, 32 gigabytes of RAM. You pretty much have all the standard stuff you'd want in a smartphone. Now, unfortunately, there's only one speaker on the bottom. I would have loved Sony to utilize the earpiece to have stereo sound, just because this is such a large smartphone, and if you're using this to watch movies and playing games, that sound would have been a nice touch. Now, unfortunately, the display is not that bright. I wish they had a brighter panel on this. It is IPS, it is LCD, and it's full HD, but it just doesn't get that bright outdoors. I know Sony makes great displays. This is not one of their brighter ones. An AMOLED panel would have helped, or at least pick a display that gets a lot better brightness. But overall, I mean, for a mid-range phone, it is a mid-range display. Battery life on this thing is fantastic though. Like, I was easily able to get an entire day's use without having to worry about charging. I can easily go from like 5 a.m. in the morning to midnight at night and have about 10 to 15% battery life left. And this is with like heavy usage. If you're more of a moderate user, you can easily take this to a day and a half without having to charge. Like I said, it doesn't have wireless charging, but because it's using a Snapdragon 630, you do have quick charging, which is enabled on this smartphone. In terms of camera, the cool thing about this compared to the regular XA2 is that you get two front-facing cameras on the front. You have a 16 megapixel shooter that takes great selfies, and you also have an 8 megapixel wide shooter, so you can get more in the shot. So if you take a group with a lot of people, or you want to get more of the landscape in there, pop it on the 8 megapixel version and you can get more of that shot in your picture. The cool thing though is that the 16 megapixel shooter has optical image stabilization. So if you're kind of moving and you want to stabilize the shot, you're going to be able to do that. The back camera is 23 megapixels. Now, it takes good photos in perfect lighting conditions. It's when you start taking photos at nighttime, things kind of fall apart. I mean, I have it here compared to the Pixel 2 XL for some context, and I've also put it against up the OnePlus 5T so that you guys can decide which one has the better camera. Now, obviously the Pixel 2 XL does, but the OnePlus 5T kind of fits in the same price range, so this will give you a better idea what might be worth more to you. In terms of software, the XA2 Ultra is using Android 8.0, and if you've ever used any of Sony's phones, they don't completely bloat the experience. You do have some of their applications on there, for let's say the PlayStation app, some of their camera tricks, but you don't have heavy theming. You still have access to Google Now. The notification menu looks exactly like it does in stock Android, and overall it's just a good experience. Performance-wise, like I said, it's using the Snapdragon 630, which is a lot better than their last model. The last model is using a really poor MediaTek processor, which just didn't run well in the original XA1 Ultra. This time they have the 630 in there, and the experience is better. There is a little bit of micro lag. Sometimes there's a little hitch before things load up, but it's not terrible. It's usable. It's just not great. So here's my closing thoughts. The Sony Xperia XA2 Ultra is not a bad mid-range phone. If you bought one, you'd probably be happy with it. But the thing is, at this price point, there are better alternatives. Something like the OnePlus 5T offers a similar experience and a much more sleek, smaller design while maintaining that 6-inch display. You also get a faster processor, a better display. You also get dual cameras on the back. I think the only reason to buy this over the OnePlus 5T might be because you want two front-facing cameras for selfies. So that pretty much wraps up my review. Let me know what you guys think of it in the comments below. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. And as always, I will talk to you in the next video.